I'm here with my Z motor driver, and I've got it hooked up to Arduino. I'm running G-Sender, and I wanted to show you how you could easily mount your Z gantry underneath the router table and use it as a power router left. I'm going into my G-Sender software now. I'm going to take my mouse, go up to connect to machine. With that USB plugged in, I'm going to click on this. Definitely start with the precise mode. So I'm going to start with Z+. At first, it doesn't even look like it's moving because each increment, the way it's set up right now, is only 0.1 millimeters. But I'm going to continually hold down that Z+, and I'm going to let you watch. And if you can see, sure enough, the router table goes down. I'm going to now press the Z-, and I'm holding down that button, and it goes up. G-Sender, if you haven't already seen my earlier videos, is completely open source. When you set up your CNC, you want to run shielded cable whenever possible. It's a little bit expensive. It's going to cost you about 50 to 75 cents a foot, maybe a little less if you buy larger quantities. And what makes it different and what makes it shielded is not this outer layer, which in my case is just a white insulating layer. If you looked inside, there's 4 wires, they're all insulated. That's not the shielding part. What makes it shielded is actually a conductive layer. In this case, there's a foil layer inside, which is conductive, and it also has some fine unshielded copper wires that are intermixed with those insulated ones. What that does is it creates a little Faraday cage, so when EMI comes in from the outside, it gets trapped in the conductive layer and doesn't degrade the signal that's going through your wire, or vice versa. If you're having electricity going through these wires, the EMI doesn't go outward and affect other wires that might be in other places on your CNC. Super, super important that you go ahead and get yourself some shielded cable. We're going to set that up. Now, one of the challenges with shielded cable is a lot of times you want flexibility because you might want to put it in a drag chain or something like that. As you have all those stranded wires, you kind of are left with a couple different possibilities. One possibility you can do is you can take those strands of that wire and you can crimp on what's called a ferrule, and that is a good way to get a good solid connection. The other way is you could do an extension. And an extension, you take a piece of solid core wire and then you're going to then put a connector like a lever clamp, which I'll show you. Now, to get your solid core wire, I'm going to give you a hint that's going to save you a lot of money. This in my hand is an excellent source of where to get some very inexpensive solid core copper wire. This is not shielded, but there's no foil. This is actually sprinkler wire. If you go into the big box stores, at least in the United States, you can buy this off a huge spool and it'll only cost you about 17 cents a foot. And then you can take a razor blade and you can go down this black layer, and inside you're going to have 4 different color wires, and those wires are solid core copper. You can use those to bridge between the different parts of your stepper motor driver, which I showed you in an earlier video, or you can even use it to bridge out from your stepper motor driver and then hook into that shielded cable and connect the solid core further out, which is a much easier connection. So I'm going to show you this as well. Here's our shielded cable. I've just taken my fingernail and I've grabbed a hold of this insulating layer and pulled it off. It pulls off very, very easily. And inside you can see that conductive foil layer. That's our shielding. So EMI, electromagnetic interference, when it comes in here, it'll get trapped in this wire and it won't go down and interfere with the signals going down these wires, and vice versa. When we have electricity going down these wires, if there is any electromagnetic interference that's trying to escape out of these wires, it will get trapped in here and it won't go interfere with other wires that might be adjacent that we're running down our CNC. So if I peel a little bit more of this foil away, you can also see that there's a little bit of strands of copper wire. And what that's trying to do is, once again, trap that EMI that might come from these wires themselves and put it in that conductive foil layer, and rather than maybe interfering between any of these that we have bound together. I can then take this wire and I can take some wire strippers and I can pull off the insulation. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with one of them. and you get something like that. And we can use our ferrule. I think I bought this whole kit with all these connectors and this crimper that crimps on these ferrules for about 25 bucks on Amazon. Inside the cover of this, it will actually tell you what the gauge wire that these will crimp onto. So I've got my shielded cable. I pulled back the foil, clipped off the uninsulated wires, and I stripped off the ends of the colored wires. What we're going to do is we're going to take a tool that will crimp on a connector. This is called a ferrule, and what you do is you match the diameter of the wire to your particular connector, and then you feed this in, and what you want to do is get the actual strip wire up into this area, and then we're going to crimp on that metal there. You don't want to be crimping on the plastic. So literally, it's going to look something like this. Feed it all the way up in there, and then when I crimp it, the metal goes down to the surface here, but don't put the plastic in there. And this tool is about, with the connectors, and you get a bunch of them. It's about 25 bucks on Amazon. So it's a really great way to crimp your wires if you want to. You don't have to do this, but it is going to give you an easier connection into your stepper motor driver. So just so you can see this one more time. Take this, feed this in, make sure it goes all the way up into that metal housing. Put this on here like so, and very solid. Let me just tell you the other alternative. If you don't want to spend 25 bucks, you can just strip off your stranded wire like so, and you get a piece of your sprinkler wire. And these are those lever clamps that I showed you in another video. And what you can do is just twist this on, insert this wire in here, and that will hold it down. And then you can take this wire and put it in here like so, and that will hold it down, and that's another good connection. And then of course, if you strip off this side, that's solid core, because I got it from my sprinkler wire. I can put that in a stepper motor driver. So that is the other alternative. If you saw my earlier video when I was wiring, I had wires going every which way, but I started thinking about it. I don't really like electrical tape going all the way down my wires because it's a pain to get off if you ever need to rewire. But I came up with this idea. It's great for wire management, whether it's stepper motor wires or not. And this is just some wrap that you put on to hold things, like casts and stuff. You can get it, at the store. And if I wanted to put a temporary wrapping around this, I can just take this like so and wrap it down my wire. And I don't see why it wouldn't work. You could do this and make your own shielded cables as well. But if I wanted to clean up my wiring, this is really fast way to do it. And these come in different colors. So you could even have, one color for one stepper motor. And then when you get all done, go like that. If you wanted to fix it more permanently, you can. But I just love it. I'm going to call it mummification of my wires. That will work for other wires as well. You could, if you're trying to clean up computer cords and stuff like that or every which way, you could just use this. And the beauty is when you want to take it apart, there's no stickiness. You can undo this and reconfigure. So this is my Z motor, and I have a coupler on there, but I wanted to just revisit from episode 4 how I told you how to tell whether or not a wire was paired. In other words, if it's paired, it's an A+ and an A-, or you can call it a B+ and a B-. It doesn't really matter. But the way you do it is get all the wires separated, no power hooked up to any of them. Go ahead and take 2 of the wires and then try to turn the shaft of your motor. And if you feel a bunch of resistance and those other wires aren't touching, and then you remove it and they're not there, there's no resistance without it, then that tells you that these are paired. So in this instance, my blue and my red wire are paired. That means by default, since there's only 4 wires, that we hope that when we turn these and we touch them together, that the green and the black in this case, and sure enough, we got the resistance. So when I hook it into this, I'll have my shielded cable going into the A plus and A minus, and I will have those two wires hooked to my red and blue, and then I'll have two wires for my shielded cable going into B plus and B minus, and I'll be hooked to the green and black. And if you can, go ahead and use a blue and red for the A plus and A minus if it's on your shielded cable, and then if you can match, if possible, it'll just make keeping them straight a lot easier. But for example, on mine, I do have a blue and red, but then I have a yellow and black instead of a green and black. So that's the best I can do. So I'm going to go ahead and I will crimp on ferrules on the end of this wire, and then I'm going to put them down in here. So I'll have red, blue, and then I will have black, yellow in here. And then on the other side, I'm going to use a lever clamp to hook the other side of these together. I'll show you that. So here's a clip for my Z-axis. I just pulled it out, and lefty loosey, righty tighty. And if you can see down in there, you can see there's a slot, and I'm just going to put the metal part of the ferrule in there and turn it to the right. That's anchored down. Make sure this one's opened up. Stick it in the slot. And you can see how much cleaner that is. If you wanted, you could put shrink tubing and you could clean it up even more. These two wires are what's going out to the main power supply. So let me just show you the other side of this. Here's my wires. If you remember, I said the red and the blue were paired. For expediency, lever clamps work really well even with the braided wire. So all you have to do is literally feed your wires in. So I'm going to feed in a red wire and snap it down. And then on the corresponding stepper motor wire here, I'm going to go ahead and crimp in my other red wire. And you can see why matching the wire colors makes life a lot simpler for yourself. Make sure that you get it so that the metal clamp actually clamps down on the metal, and that one's wired in. And so then we would go to the blue one, grab a lever clamp, open both slots here, twist it a little bit. And so this is the other one of the pair. So I'm going to put it in there, make sure that it catches the wire. Okay, so that's solid. And then I need my blue wire, because that's the pair on my stepper motor. And I'm going to go ahead and sneak that in here. Solid. And then we'll get our other two ones.